beauty standards are literally in style. It is a trend, and people are out here getting entire cosmetic procedures to alter the way they look. They are getting foreign substances injected in their faces in order to alter the way they look, not understanding the fact that trends are temporary and surgery cannot be undone. Hey guys, what's up? It's Cam. Welcome back to my channel. Alright, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about how social media is toxic waste. So I've actually decided that this is going to be a little bit of a mini-series, which I am so excited to do. The first thing that we're going to talk about within this mini-series is beauty standards, and I'm actually going to be splitting this video up into two parts because I feel like there's a lot of things that can be covered under the umbrella of beauty standards on social media, and we're going to get into some of it in this first part, but stay tuned for part two because it's going to be coming out very soon after this one. And if you don't want to miss it, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification and like this video, all of that good stuff. And if you want to follow me on my social media, you can. I'll have everything on the screen linked down below. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So with this series, I wanted to be a little bit more laid back and chill, but I do want to have some really honest conversations of the things that I am seeing on the biggest type of entertainment that we are consuming as a generation, which is social media. And like, I know a lot of us spend a lot of time on social media. I'm personally guilty of spending probably more time than I should on social media, and so I think it's so important to talk about social media and how it affects us, whether that is positive or negative. And like I said before, today we're going to be talking about beauty standards because I was triggered. And I find myself being triggered very frequently when I'm on social media, especially when it comes to certain things. And I feel like beauty standards is one of those things that I get really triggered by because I think it's something that affects everyone. And I think while as a generation we're trying to like dismantle beauty standards and everything, I think we all play some kind of role into it, whether you have a large platform or whether you don't have one at all. So like I said before, I was triggered to film this video, and the reason why I was triggered, I have been seeing a video everywhere on TikTok, I've been seeing it on Instagram, of this symmetry thing. If I can find the clip, I'll insert it right here.
How the fuck her face symmetrical? Let me try this. What in the hot dog Finding Nemo number 2 is indeed? Why my face doing that?
So basically you can see that it's this white girl who is using a effect or a filter on TikTok that basically inverts her face so you can see that her face is like super symmetrical, and then afterwards it's this black girl trying it and kind of degrading herself because you can see that her face is not as symmetrical as the first girl's face. And the reason I feel like this triggered me so much is because I feel like we have started to place so much emphasis on looks. I think especially in the last decade or so, it's always been very prevalent, especially if you are a part of like the entertainment industry, if you were on television and movies, or if you were a music artist and things like that, even a model. But I think now, because of social media, the average person is starting to place so much emphasis on their looks, and I think we're really starting to see how beauty standards affects us all, not only as a generation, but within society as a whole. So I'm going to start this off by basically talking a little bit about myself. Now, I do not think I necessarily fit the beauty standard of today, but I think that it's very convenient that the beauty standard does revolve around black features, but not on a black woman. Now, I bring all of this up to say that in the last like 5 years, we have seen a rise, and when I tell you a rise, it was literally so quick, of people aspiring to have things like very full lips, very large behinds and very large boobs, snatched waists. They've used other things that are not necessarily related to body, but different ways to do their makeup and other ways to accessorize that remind me a lot of how black women look. And the thing that I find very interesting about this is the fact that today's beauty standard literally revolves around looking black without actually being black. However, if you are black, the more Eurocentric you look, the more beautiful you're considered to be. And I think the reason why we had such a big shift in this, or we saw such a big shift so quickly, is because of Kylie Jenner. Now, we mostly all know Kylie Jenner, and we all pretty much know what she looks like today. However, she looked completely different like 5 years ago, and even more different like 10 years ago. And I think Kylie Jenner really started to popularize this beauty standard that we are experiencing now today, with the full lips and the very slim, thick body type. And after we saw Kylie Jenner start to morph into the person that she is today, so many other women and girls started following suit and started doing exactly what she was doing, because I guess they saw she was getting a lot of praise in the media because of how she looked and because of her drastic transformation. And this kind of brings me into my first problem with filters and things like Facetune and Photoshop and the way that we perceive other people and the way that we present ourselves on social media. Because a couple months ago, I was getting ready to actually film a video. I don't remember which one it was exactly, but I thought I looked really cute because I had done my hair up in a puff, I had slicked my edges, and I just thought I looked really cute. I put on some lip gloss and I came in my room, and before I started filming, I was taking some pictures. Normally, I don't typically go on social media and use filters and stuff like that because I feel like it makes me look weird. And so as I was taking pictures, I thought to myself like, I wonder what I would look like if I use certain filters. So I started looking for filters that would make me look like a baddie. And I came across quite a few filters that, needless to say, made me look absolutely botched. And the reason why I say this is because not only did it like slim the crap out of my nose, but it enlarged my lips to no end. It made me look like I got so much filler. It basically took my face and it like sharpened my jawline. It did a lot of things that just made me look very, very abnormal. Not only was I very surprised at the drastic jump between what I looked like without a filter versus what I looked like with a filter, I was actually kind of disgusted, but also intrigued in a way, because I started to think about how people use filters and people that use filters on a regular basis, especially to post photos and things like that on social media, how they must feel looking at their face being filtered all the time and then having to go through life and see themselves in a mirror and that sort of thing, and the toll that it could take on their actual self-esteem and their perception of themselves in real life. And it also made me think of filters in a way where I was like, okay, so why are we normalizing not only everybody having one face, because that's what it is. A lot of people are trying to go and achieve the look that Kylie Jenner has because that is what is popular right now. And so everybody on social media, especially those people that are being like considered IG baddies and IG models and things like that, they're all kind of getting the same face. And of course, it's because this face is being considered as ideal. But the one thing about somebody like me who is a Black woman using a filter like that is like, I'm Black. I do not need a filter to make my lips full. I already have full lips. I do not need a filter to give me features that I already have. However, they're marketed in a way that would make them seem more desirable or more pleasant to the eye. And when you think about filters and you try to consider like the origin, like it really started back in Snapchat. I remember I was like a freshman in high school when Snapchat kind of first came out with the filters, and they were super cute. Like they would make your eyes bigger. They were cute and they were fun. And then they slowly but surely started to progress into something where it started to alter your face in a way that you would think, or that would lead you to believe that it was making you look better. Like it would slim your nose down. A lot of them would make you lighter, which is a little bit problematic. They would just give you more desirable features. And I think the problem with this is, especially if you're going to use social media a lot and you're going to use these filters a lot, not only is it going to make you look different, obviously, but depending on how much you're using it, it's going to literally shift and alter your perception of yourself. And I think it's gotten so bad to the point where now you can actually filter videos. And of course you could filter videos before, but by filtering videos now, I'm talking about going live, and you can wear a filter going live. And there are some filters that make it look so subtle. They make the changes to your face so subtle that sometimes people do not even realize that you're wearing a filter. Like when I was looking through some videos on TikTok trying to dissect this entire thing, like I came across a post of this TikToker addressing to some of her followers who were asking her for her skincare routine because her skin looks so flawless and so tight and clear. And she had to tell them like, listen, I use the beauty filter when I film my TikToks, and sometimes it's good because if I don't want to wear foundation, then it's convenient. But for people who are watching me and who are aspiring to look like me and who are thinking that I'm achieving these results to my skin based off of some kind of skincare routine is absolutely unrealistic. And then she turned her beauty filter off and she basically showed all of her little imperfections, maybe some acne, some hyperpigmentation, her pores, obviously, because I think that somehow is not a thing anymore. People expect your face to not have pores, and a lot of people don't realize realize that skin has texture for whatever reason. I guess it's because we're looking at Instagram so much and people are filtering their faces, they're airbrushing their faces, they're face tuning their faces, they're photoshopping their faces so much that we have forgotten that skin literally has pores and has textures, and that literally is how it's supposed to work, or else we probably shrivel up and look like a raisin. And I honestly think that the use of filters contributes to the reason why so many people are so unhappy with the way they look and have such low self-esteem and low confidence, and why we've seen a recent rise in self-hatred, because I see people all of the time talking about how they wish they could get this work done, or if they had the money and had the chance they would get this done, not only to their faces but to their bodies as well. And I think that we've started to normalize getting plastic surgery and looking a certain way, so much so that people have kind of lost touch with reality. I genuinely believe that we have lost the plot somewhere, because not only are there people that are getting plastic surgery in order to appeal to today's beauty standards, which are a trend. Let's talk about really quick, I'm gonna diverge just a little bit, bear with me. Today's beauty standards are literally in style. It is a trend, and people are out here getting entire cosmetic procedures to alter the way they look. They are getting foreign substances injected in their faces in order to alter the way they look, not understanding the fact that trends are temporary and surgery cannot be undone. And a lot of the times people feel like these surgeries are going to help cure the insecurities and the self-hatred that they feel inside, when really it's only like putting a band-aid on a broken arm and expecting that to fix it and heal it, when you have to do the inner work and you have to dive deep into yourself and analyze, grow in yourself and start to love yourself, and that's how you actually cure those insecurities. But people like to use temporary solutions, and I think the reason why is because it has become so normalized, and I think celebrities are part of that reason, influencers are part of that reason. At this point in LA, like, you can't even walk around without seeing people who have gotten fillers not only in their lips but in their faces in order to cover up wrinkles, smile lines, all different types of things. And what's crazy to me is the fact that people go and they get these cosmetic surgeries, which I will say this because I haven't said it yet, but I think people can do whatever they want with their bodies and whatever they see fit with their bodies. But I just would ask that people consider that normalizing this could potentially cause a lot of harm in the future, especially for people who are growing up right now and seeing all of these changes happen right before their eyes. But yeah, I do want to say that I find it really interesting how people are getting these plastic surgeries, they're getting this Botox, they're getting this filler, but when they go and they make a post on social media, they are still using filters, they are still using Facetune, they're still using Photoshop to edit their appearance. And it almost makes me feel like, what is the point? Why would you go and spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get your dream face, but then turn around after you've already gotten said dream face and still edit yourself in order to appear perfect? I think the fact that we're even trying to chase a perfect look when it really doesn't exist is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that it has become so normal to want to reach unattainable beauty standards is honestly so dangerous, and it's a little bit disturbing, because not only are a lot of the influencers and celebrities on social media feeding to a younger audience a look and an image that is completely fake and altered while trying to hide under the guise that it's actually real when it's not, but they're promoting that beauty is the only way that you can be positively affirmed and that you can get positive attention, and the only way you'll be liked by other people. And I think another prime example of this is somebody like Khloe Kardashian. And I know that I've already mentioned Kylie here, but I feel like the Kardashians are literally a prime example of how toxic the beauty standards of today have become and how far people are willing to go just to appeal to them, especially for something like social media. So back to Khloe Kardashian, child, because a mess. Obviously, just like Kylie Jenner, Khloe Kardashian has changed so much in the last 5-10 years, and she has started to take on that face that looks like a stereotypical IG baddie face, Kylie Jenner face. And not only does she look completely different now than she looked all of those years ago, she has started to convince herself that the way that she looks now, the way that she presents herself on social media, is the way that she looks in real life. Quite recently, there was a scandal. I'm using this term scandal loosely because I don't think it was really a scandal, but a picture of her did come out where it was like an unsolicited picture. It was taken without her consent, and it was posted to the internet, and it was a picture of her in a bathing suit and without makeup on and stuff like that. I think she was just chilling and hanging out with her family, and she wasn't posed in the right position, she wasn't in sunlight, and you could see exactly what she looked like. And the internet got shooken up a lot. Not only was the internet shaken up, but Khloe herself was pretty shaken up and started to go after anybody that was reposting this image online. People were getting their accounts taken down. It was absolute madness. Then she later got on her Instagram live trying to prove to people that she actually looked like what she says she looks like, according to the images and videos and things that she posts on her Instagram and on across her social media platforms. And it was kind of sad to see, because not only do we know, like Khloe, we know not only that you've had plastic surgery, but we know that you Photoshop and Facetune your photos. We know that that's not really what you look like in real life, standing with a normal pose, looking like your normal self, not in the right lighting, not with the right angle and right pose and everything like that. We realize that you're a whole cap. And I think what's the most sad about Khloe Kardashian's situation is the fact that she continues to try and get this surgery to alter her face and her body to appeal to the type of her baby daddy, Tristan Thompson. And if you don't know anything about Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson, basically Khloe had a baby by Tristan, and Tristan is pretty much a man and refuses to stop cheating on her. And it's interesting that the women that he does cheat on Khloe with are women that are more ambiguous looking. They look like they are of the mixed race. They're certainly considered to be beautiful according to today's beauty standards. And Khloe Kardashian, I believe, has been trying to alter her face and contort her face in order to fit this beauty standard, because these are the girls that her baby's father continues to cheat on her with. And she probably feels like if she can look like them, if she can do whatever she can to look like them, alter her face via cosmetic surgery, alter her face via Botox and lip filler, then she will be able to keep him around, which is certainly not the case. Because one thing a cheating man is going to do is go pipe another woman, whether you like it or not. And in Khloe's situation, not only is she trying to obviously change her face and her body and everything to fit today's beauty standard, but she's trying to change her face and her body to appeal to the male gaze, which I think is another reason why this beauty standard and beauty standards in general can become so toxic, because a lot of women like to say that they're doing it for themselves and that they want to look like this because they want to look like this or whatever. But honestly, what I truly believe is the fact that people want to look a certain way, women want to look a certain way in order to impress men, in order to appease men, in order to snatch a man, to snag a man, in order to get a man. And they really just want to look how they want to look, and they want to appeal to these beauty standards because it's what fits the male gaze. They believe that it's going to be what gets them a man, when really, in the case of getting men, you can appeal to their gaze all you want, but if they don't want you, then they don't want you, and that's just the bottom line, point blank period. And like, to me, it's really sad that Khloe is literally putting herself through things that are pretty much irreversible in order to try and keep a man when it's not going to work. So all of what I said so far in this video pretty much brings me to the conclusion that not only are we chasing unrealistic beauty standards, because no matter how much surgery and other alterations that you make to yourself, you're still going to have to edit your face and your body in order to seem like the perfect girl, the perfect woman on social media. But social media continues to throw us into this literal endless cycle of not feeling good enough and then fixing something and then feeling better about it, but finding something else that's wrong and trying to fix that until you end up basically being unrecognizable. And I'm not gonna sit up here and say that filters are the main culprit in this situation, but I do think that the way that people use filters is probably one of the reasons why we're seeing how toxic beauty standards have actually become. And it almost kind of makes me feel like you shouldn't really get too comfortable as far as going on social media and looking at a bunch of girls who maybe appeal to the beauty standard and then going and taking pictures of yourself and using filters, literally nitpicking everything that you feel like is wrong about yourself in order to contribute to that cycle. Because again, everything on social media that you pretty much see is fake, and it's a snapshot of perfection that is literally happening for probably only a split second, and people literally just post their highlight reels. But I think that because not a lot of people are being honest about how much editing to their pictures that they do, or whether or not they're using a very subtle filter or not, and getting certain plastic surgeries, they're also equally contributing to the toxicity of today's beauty standards. And again, I feel like people also forget to realize that it's literally temporary, and it's probably going to change to something different in the next 5 years. And so we shouldn't even really be racing to fit something that's not even permanent and could be different when we wake up tomorrow. So yeah, that is all I'm going to say about beauty standards right now, because I still want to talk about a few more things as it relates to beauty standards and social media and things like that in the second part of this video. Yes, you heard that correctly. There is going to be a part 2 to this video. So if you want to see that, make sure you stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I do go and post that. And if you want to keep up with me on social media and stuff like that, I'll have all the links on the screen and down below. You already know the drill. You already know the drill. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And I really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the part 2, okay? Goodbye.